how this herbal formula boosts NRF2 for antioxidant defense, lowers the various fatigue biomarkers, and positively impacts key immune factors like dendritic cells, natural killer cells, and cytokines like interferon. We also saw its effects on repairing DNA damage and increasing bone marrow cells. In this session, we are going to learn about very important substance called NRF2. You can think of NRF2 as the master switch that controls our body's entire antioxidant system. Its job is to make sure our body produces enough antioxidant enzymes, which are like tiny bodyguards that protects our cells from oxidative damage. The research paper we are looking at today shows that a standardized herbal mix of Angelica Gigas, Cnidium Officinale, and Paeonia Lactiflora actually increases the activity of this NRF2 master switch. So how does NRF2 work? Normally, NRF2 is attached to another protein called CAP1. But when it meets certain ingredients from plants, it breaks free and starts to do its job. Once activated, NRF2 acts like a commander, directing our antioxidant and detox enzymes. This protects our cells from oxidative damage, which also helps prevent DNA damage and stop healthy cells from turning into harmful, mutated cells. Oxidative damage is a link to so many diseases, from heart problems and neurodegenerative disease to metabolic issues and even cancer. Scientists believed that activating NRF2 plays a key role in preventing these very diseases. This means this herbal mix shows great promise in helping to prevent a wide range of illnesses by turning onto the NRF2 switch. Next, let's take a closer look at its antioxidant power, its ability to stop oxidation, and how it helps with the fatigue. First, let's talk about MDA. MDA is a type of waste product that's created when fats in our body get oxidized or damaged. In the study, when this herbal mix was given, the levels of this MDA waste product went down. This is a clear sign that oxidation in the body was being stopped. On the other hand, we have a GPX. GPX is one of our body's own powerful antioxidant enzymes. It seems that this herbal mix helps fight oxidation by increasing the amount of this helpful GPX enzyme. Now let's talk about fatigue. There's something in our muscles called muscle glycogen. Muscle glycogen and fatigue have an opposite relationship. When we feel tired, our glycogen level goes down, which in turn makes our muscle feel even more tired. That's why the level of muscle glycogen is used as an important biomarker to measure fatigue. So what is a biomarker? It's literally a biological marker that gives us an objective look at what's happening inside our body. Using biomarkers, we can accurately measure if the body is in a healthy or diseased state, or how it's responding to a medicine. Similarly, an enzyme called LDH is another biomarker that is directly related to fatigue. The more tired you are, the higher your LDH level goes. The study results show that LDH level decreased, which means fatigue was reduced. Other common fatigue biomarkers like lactic acid and creatine kinase and also decreased. This clearly showed that fatigue was improving. Now, ALT and SAT are enzymes found inside our liver cells. When our liver cells get damaged, these enzymes leak out into our blood. So if a blood test shows high levels of ALT and AST, it's a signal that the liver is damaged. Have you ever heard someone say high liver enzymes? Means there's a problem? That's what this is about. The study showed that this herbal formula helped lower these enzyme levels, suggesting that it helps damage the liver cells recover. Additionally, this herbal mix was shown to help lower blood glucose or blood sugar levels. The key hormone that controls the blood sugar is insulin, which is made in the beta cells of the pancreas. The research showed that insulin production in these beta cells increased In animal study where diabetics was induced, the number of immune-related white blood cells also increased. Now let's dive into the main function of this herbal formula, immunity. First up are dendritic cells. Think of them as the first guards who shout, "The enemy is here!" to our immune system when an invader or antigen enters our body. Our whole immune system only gets started after these dendritic cells are activated. They act like commanders, activating immune T cells to release signal-sending chemicals called cytokine, or telling B cells to start making antibodies. Next is a cell with a very intimidating name, the natural killer cell, or NK cell. The research show that this herbal mix helped to activate these NK cells. They are called natural killers because they have the unique ability to find and destroy our own cells that have become infected or abnormal, like cancer cells. It doesn't attack invaders from the outside. Instead, it gets rid of the enemies within, our own cells that have gone bad. NK cells recognize antibodies attached to infected cells, then release the toxic substances to destroy them. This is called ADCC. To fight off cancer, it's very important that our NK cells are active. In our immune response, cytokines are absolutely essential. When our body is stimulated by an invader, various immune cells produce and release these cytokines. They act as critical messengers, with some attacking the invader directly and others sending signals to other cells to prepare for battle. Interferon-Gamma is a famous type of cytokine. It's released by immune cells like T cells, macrophages, and NK cells. Interferon-Gamma stops normal cells from being taken over by viruses, tells infected cells to self-destruct, and activates other immune cells. The study confirmed that this herbal mix increases the production of this important interferon-gamma. The herbal mix also enhances phagocytosis, which is the process of cell eating. The main cell responsible for this is the macrophage. The name literally means big eater, and it acts just like that. It completely swallows and digests invaders or infected cells, much like how a person eats and digests food. Now let's look at how it helps damaged immune cells recover. Radiation damages all cells. And of course, that includes our immune cells. In a study, after immune cells were damaged with the radiation, this herbal mix was given. The result? The immune cells recovered significantly faster compared to the group that didn't receive it. This shows that immune cells like B cells and T cells can recover effectively after being damaged. When our DNA gets damaged, something called its tail moment gets longer. So what does that mean? The study showed that the herbal mix made the DNA's tail moment shorter. So you can guess that a long tail moment is a bad thing. You can see the amount of DNA damage using a method called the Comet assay. Healthy DNA looks like a tightly packed ball, but damaged DNA breaks apart and forms a long tail, just like a comet. The more severe the damage, the longer the tail. Therefore, a shorter tail moment means the DNA damage has been repaired. Finally, let's talk about bone marrow cells. Bone marrow is the factory that produces our immune cells, and is also the center of hematopoiesis, which is the process of making new blood cells. The research confirmed that this herbal mix not only increased immune cells like a lymphocyte, but also increased the bone marrow cells that are responsible for making blood. Alright, so in this session, we will review how this herbal formula boosts NRF2 for antioxidant defense, lowers various fatigue biomarkers, and positively impacts key immune factors like dendritic cells, natural killer cells, and cytokines like interferon. We also saw its effects on repairing DNA damage and increasing bone marrow cells. In our next session, we will discuss the essential nutrition for immunity. You will probably hear some familiar names. We will explore how the nutrients we know affect our immune system and why they are so important. Thank you for your time.